This is the Benjamin Zulu Global. Welcome our viewers from all over the world to the home of the Heart Matters. We're converging to learn together because when you know better, you can do better. And a better life is what we all want. Better work life, better family life, better personal life.
The O, write O. After R, the next is O. So O is to overcome. After you retreat, you overcome. My online audience, are we together? Gabriel tells me they're alive. All right, they're good. O. Please write O. O is to overcome. What are you overcoming? Those things they had done to you that made you fear going alone. I mentioned when you're talking about greatness that many of you, the reason you don't believe in it is because of the fear. What you are told repeatedly, you are insufficient, you are broken, you're not good enough, you're too dark, you're too tall, you're too noisy, you're too fat, you're too, can't you? Some of your mothers would criticize your legs. Until today you wear everything covering legs. Legs. And comparing you with your sister. What happened to you? Now you, who do you look like? No, this one looks like father, mother. You, where do you come from? If your mother asked you that, what do you answer surely? Your head is so big. This head, I don't know, is it grandchildren, the others, and they're discussing you? No, this one will embarrass me. Can't even speak well. Can you keep going? When they are visitors, don't talk. You're embarrassing us. That thing they planted in you that you know is foreign. Say the word foreign. Many of the things that are holding you back are not domestic. They don't belong to your nature. They were planted there. This morning we wrote an article and said, many of you think you're broken because you looked at yourself through a broken mirror. A broken mirror gives you a fragmented image. Even when you are intact, the mirror fragments you to make you think you are in pieces. Your parents were the mirror. They were drunkard. They were angry. They were bitter. They were fighting their lives. They were frustrated by the careers they did not have. By the life they did not build. They were trapped into the marriage. They conceived you, then they got married to run away from the chaos at home. And then they say, you caused all my downfall. It is you, if it were not for you. If it were not for you. As if you were there when they did what they did. They were doing the heavy breathing at night. Where were you? They can't own. It is so narcissistic when people can't own their bad choices. They blame you and you are not there when they were doing it. So narcissistic. But some of you are meant to believe you are the reason your parents did not succeed. Could have given birth to a loaf of bread. No, sex does not bring loaf of bread. It brings living human beings. Are you surprised that it's not those people conceived by rape, one of the most disastrous things? But many people conceived by rape don't get destroyed by it. Many of them recover. It is those who conceived deliberately or consciously who continue to damage the child, although it was their choice. Soli Malangu, this South African singer, was saying that's how he was conceived. Look at how he's soaring in the world. The mother accepted and told the boy, believe and go. You can make it. Believe and go. Maybe she had read that story that one guy was born by two parents who one had killed the husband to take the wife, and now you are the first child they got died. Now you are the next one, a caste union, and he believed like he can be something. One day I'll be the king. That's how Solomon became. Listen. It could be that what they keep telling you, that you know your father had an affair. That's how you are born. You are a secret. Hide. Today we have people, I saw one person asking on these online platforms, I got a child with an Indian guy, he's married, he supports me, but now I don't know, the other guys want me, but they don't want me to have a contact with the baby daddy. Women are getting children with rich men just to get sustained by money. But after a while, that arrangement expires because it is not soulish. It's egotistical and vain and short-lived. This child is a human being. They will need connection. You will grow. You'll have to grow this arrangement. That person wants to use you to have a permanent hook over your body. This sponsor thing has been over-advertised. It's a lie. It swallows you whole. Getting a child is permanent. It's irreversible, you know. You'll have to explain to this child difficult questions, things you don't want to discuss. And the child is asking, but who is my mother? But who is my father? But what was happening? But how did I hear people? How did you meet? How did you tell us how you met my dad? Yeah, I met your father. Tell us the story. That's how many of you, people are in Nairobi, they can't go home because the child is asking questions you don't want to answer. You just send the school fees to them. Pay to the child. Okay, agree. Tell them I'm working hard for their sake. You are hiding. Don't plant these seeds, you regret. Overcome that. How do you overcome it? Guys, normalize what you did today. Let today be the first. And those who came for the conference, I can see what you're doing. Buy books to mirror yourself by a sober, by a balanced, integral mirror. Follow podcasts about healing. Join conferences about healing. So that you release the broken mirror, the words you heard that are foreign, they're not true to you. Whoever broke you, even if it was a past lover who kept telling you you're not good enough, you're not even this, and they said it until it's playing in your head, you can unlearn it. Let me tell you Mephibosheth complex. Mephibosheth survived the war. People were being killed, and he was running around, and then he managed to survive. He was broken in the legs, and somebody had carried him and brought him, and no. Later on in life, when he was brought to the palace, he had survived with an injury, physical injury, but he had believed he is as good as a dead dog. He survived physically, but he died energetically. Many of us are alive physically, but we stopped dreaming, stopped hoping. We think we are a dead dog. We should not be before kings. We stink. Listen. In college, one lady had a growth on the face that was conspicuous, just something. And it was taking a while. I think later it was treated, but it was very conspicuous. The face was funny, and people keep staring, gazing at you. But this lady had overcome that. I don't know how. That's one example of overcoming. She knew this. I did not cause it. I know where I came from. A time will come. That lady was so nice and polite. She took the advantage of people staring to always greet. Hello. She just greet, and you are embarrassed at yourself. Why are you staring at me? You know, that lady was so nice. She became popular for her niceness. Later on, she went abroad, got it removed. But do you know, to this day, she's a shining light in our memories. She's a lawyer, thriving very well. How did she overcome such a difficult thing? Michael Jackson did want the nose, changed the nose. Billionaire. What would you wish to change? Some of you are still trying to modify your teeth. My lecturer couldn't want anybody looking at the nails because the mother kept criticizing now you, what do you look like? You resemble so much the great, your great grandma was like that. How can someone tell you about your great grandma and you are not there? And she's very uncomfortable with your hands. The nails, now these nails, which nails, don't even look like those are women. A woman should have. So she would begin to wear sweaters that are long, and she would hide the hand there. That became her life. She would hide it there every time. She said, even today, if you stared me at my hand, I just move them. She said, I overcame that consciously through therapy, which you should do. Guys, don't pass through this life without discussing your life with an expert to tell you what they see. Sometimes you don't go because they have problems. Men know how to maintain cars. Men in particular, they can sense their car even when the service is not due. Can tell that's not the kind of power I'm used to. And they're asking them, let's troubleshoot this. Oh, the plugs they put me were fake. They got finished. No wonder, man. It's not giving me the response, man. If men were to care for their lives, they care for their cars. They pretend they're not clean. And if you dirtify their car, it's a fight. Yes. But at home, they're the ones throwing socks around. Is this the same person? When you love something, I want you to love yourself today, to take yourself occasionally. I loved it when one guy looked for me and said, bro, I just want, there's a lot of things going. I don't have too much. Can you just talk? We simply diagnosed he was the enabler for his family, and he thought he was being responsible like his late father, trying to help everybody to rise. People had lashed on his back, and because he was empathetic and understanding, he was carrying this, putting the other, lifting this, lifting the other, and he was on the bridge. You lift the other, they drop, you kick, they go back, you kick. So he had been there for 10 years, and he just felt tired. Bro, I don't know what's happening, man. By the time we go to the term toxic empath, that man alight. Man, I see it, man. From then on, he allowed people to live their lives and choose their lives without trying to compensate for their misdeeds. What if I told you some of the people you're trying to rehabilitate are determined to die? Some people kill themselves with a rope, others kill themselves by letting go. On a free fall. And they're very happy when they're drunk. Let me tell you a story. You know, when I was in school, you don't know anything. You are worried to a person who is happy. When you get them sober, they are very angry. No, look at these institutions you keep bringing me to. My friend, I'm a grown-up. I know how my life. Stop arresting me. Leave me alone. One psychologist was brought as a lady was very happy. She had a psychotic episode, but she dreamed that she was a princess. She was having servants. She was introducing him to her. This is my lady. She's a queen bee attended by maids, and she's in our flower gardens. Those are my cows imported from Poland, and that one over there, that one imported from Africa. You know that way? Huh? The psychologist confided a secret, said, you know, I did not have a cure for this girl, but even if I had it, I wouldn't give it because she was happy. Sometimes people take off to be happy in an unreal world, but for a moment. The happiness is real. The situation is not real, but it will crash at some point. But she said, the way that lady was just that happy, but she was eating, she was not hurting anyone. I said, hey, you guys, can you mind your life? She had a very painful marriage that she did not have the guts to walk out of. She had gotten broken down so much. Listen, you can overcome that thing through therapy, through mirroring yourself, through discussing your life. Everything, that addiction, that alcoholic, that ex that you can't get rid of, that place you keep, that giving, borrow. Some of you here, if I look at your phone, it's just M-Pesa out, giving. Your next was more equity, just like, you know. I want you to reach a point where you can overcome that. Some of you need to be needed. It's not the people who borrow you that are cunning. You just need to be needed. You keep rescuing. The last digit I want to discuss today. Oh, I've not emphasized it enough, but I hope you commit today to work on overcoming that thing that keeps giving you setback. If I get you there, we are there now. If I get you there, we are there. Now, the last word is W. Last word is W, called widen. Widen your scope. Widen your scope. Widen. Listen. You will not achieve your calling until you can earn in millions. Million Kenya shillings, like $7,000. Until you can earn in millions or just tens of thousands of dollars, to be impossible to be of any impact, even if you're a kindergarten teacher. You can teach well, 5 kids per year, 5 kids per year, 5 kids per year, 5 kids per year, and you remain there. You have your children who need fees everywhere. You have your own needs that need to be grown. Economy becoming tougher, and you're living on a small salary. You will have to collapse from that job, sinking to debts. The moment lifestyle demands come, you know, past midlife, other health concerns, just checkups, hey, these kind of things, your colleagues, all this. If you stay in a comfortable job just because you're managing it now, by just sitting there, you'll be caught by life and you'll be crushed. Your only mistake was to sit there. After you have taught kindergarten for 5 years and you know it is done, you're supposed to teach others how it is done. And spread how many kids you can handle. From 5, teaching 5 teachers, to 25, teaching another 5, to 50, teaching another 5, until you can release 100 kids in a year. And you can earn 100 times than what you used to earn. Once you attain experience, don't sit there. Now, spread in some way. One lady was the best in a nursing school. Do you have a nurse? Any nurse? Thank you. Are you yet married? Are you single? There's an explanation. Okay. Yeah, there's a marriage status code. It's a long story. If you can't tell me that you're single or married, it's straightforward, surely. Think about your life. Nurses are the second most marriageable after teachers. They rank second because their career involves caring. Teachers, we associate them with warmth. You know, the people dealing with the kids, you know. Many people didn't go there because they have the heart for a teacher. We just assume they have it. People found themselves there and they hate it. They keep insulting kichako kuba kama babako, insulting. Students, don't insult your students. Don't take out your frustrations. She was the best nurse in her school and she got the best hospital and the best salary. But let me tell you something. This lady sat and said, I am the firstborn. Firstborn can be a good thing when you look at it in terms of inspiring, not carrying people on your back. Are we together? Firstborn, in Africa, you can be first by birth or first by ambition. When you're the first to go out, even those who are older than you start to say, boss, you know. And she said, no, this is too small for me. She applied and she went away. And she went to Canada and she went to study again there, some things. She was aiming at what I want to give you. I want to give you a scope. She said that time 50,000 was a lot of money to be paid. She was being paid 50,000. But she said, the least I can get in order to do the kind of things I want to do is 500,000. I want you to take the salary you are earning now and just multiply it by 10. We start by widening. Just multiply it by 10. That's the smallest you can talk. So the 20,000 comes what? Can you say it? Some of you are afraid of committing to that thing. But let's take 20,000. It becomes what? And if you paid 5,000 and you're being paid 20, you know what a struggle it was. Really disorganize your mathematics for the next, isn't it? When you pay anything costing 25% of your, you know. At times, should that lady said, she just thought, the minimum is I want 500, not 50. These guys are not getting me. What can I do? Widening starts with a point. I want you to set a point as a target. And then, because we started with, we are trying to irrigate a greatness in us. You have a seed, a vision for having catering for children home of 1,000, charitable work of the old, aged, or a skyscraper in the city, or something. There's something you have. Some of you want to run a good garage that is professional. You are frustrated that we have no professional garages, or good salons, or good something. That business, that thing. And you don't have to be a business person to become wealthy. Please. You can become wealthy by becoming an entrepreneur or a partner to the entrepreneur. You can either own the business or own the owner of the business. Don't send yourself to business when you're not structured for it. Alex Chamanda and Jeff Konyange are both journalists. Alex goes to become the entrepreneur. Jeff partners with SK Masharia, who is the entrepreneur. If you are better as an employee, become a minor Kageni of sort. Do you think he's employed by Classic FM or he partners with them? Partners with them. Because he can get them doing what they want and they pay him what he deserves. Don't force yourself to entrepreneurship when you don't have the blood for it. It will backfire. Get the entrepreneur who starts the hotel and run the hotel, get the results. They can own the business, you own the customers. They can own the car yard, you own the buyers of the cars. You are in the same position. They can get funding for $1 billion to bring 200 units of cars, and you can get those 200 sold in 3 months. You're in the same position. True or false? If they fire you, the cars sit there. Nobody buys. You know many business beginners can't sell anything. You know that? They're very awkward. They're very impatient. Honestly, if they rely on me to sell the books, how much have I advertised books now so far? My team keeps quarreling me. You forget marketing. That's the weakness of business people. But then I get the team that can help. Let me tell you something. I want you to multiply it by 10 and don't just think one route. If your personality, you should go online and write 16personalitytest.com. Take that test to give you ideas of how you're created. 16personalitytest.com. That's one. But I have written books. There's one called Mastery that have explained step-by-step ways to know what you're good at. Don't go home without that book. It's called Mastery, and we were meaning it for this thing. So I want you to take what you're earning now. We are starting with money because that's where we are starting. In the afternoon, we'll talk more about love. But I'm telling you, if you do not grow to a higher scale of releasing your essence, the marriage becomes a captivity. And I'll repeat that. If you put marriage first, it does not become a couple, becomes a captivity. Does not become a partnership, becomes a prison. The wrong thing being put first becomes toxic. Start dating second year college instead of trying to find yourself. Start dating when you're even if you're 27 and you still feel confused about life. You're trying to get married because you think you want to get your children early. When I'm young, my eggs are getting finished. Why can't you think about your dreams? Only your eggs? You should not ignore one. You should get both. Widen your scope. I want you to multiply that pay by 10. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to multiply the locus of your operation by 10. Many of you have been operating within 30 kilometers, within Nairobi city only. Now, go to Kisumu. Next time, just go to Mombasa for no reason, please. Some of you are waiting for an emergency so that you can buy an air ticket. Travel by bus to Eldoret. And sit in one of the hotels. Eldoret is one of the cleanest cities. They're very friendly by day. When you ask for tea in Eldoret, they bring a jug, but that's a cup, a big mug. They don't taste food, they eat food. They're very generous. You wonder how much is this? You ask for the price again. That you don't, you know. You innocently ask for ugali and chicken. The chicken they bring, is it chicken or ostrich? You know. And next time you hear an event anywhere in Webuye, join. Locus, geographical expansion will surprise you. You will meet people you had nowhere else to meet just because you attended that function in Mtwapa. Some of you accidentally met people who changed your life after you had been dragged by your friends to that event. Isn't it? Yes. Because you like your weekend. I'm a very private, I mind my own business. Every time you retreat and you sleep, you retreat and you watch Netflix. Your weekend, the only free time, I'm so tired. You think resting means sitting down. Resting means changing activity from energy draining to energy giving. Traveling can be energy giving. Visiting people can be energy giving. Dancing at a show, energy giving. You don't have to sleep in your bed. Go to activities that give you energy. That's what resting. Resting means replenishing. Are we together? When you are naive, you say the way I used to say, I'm tired and you're telling me to go to the gym and walk around now. I need energy and you're asking me to spend energy. I think this looks like a pyramid scheme. When I understood energy, I realized what they meant. When you exercise, you're not straining to get something done. You're feeding your body. When you move around, when you travel, the traveling may be physically, maybe the physical strain of traveling, but because you are going just for sightseeing, to be with our friends, to laugh, to see, just to talk, it gives you energy, perspective. You come back rejuvenated, vibrant. Some of you have lived in the city, living in a triangle. Work home, occasionally church, work home, occasionally club, work home, triangle, the whole year. And you're hoping somebody will still find you and marry you. When I started searching, I was very frustrated by women of nowadays. They are nowhere to be found. When they sit in a bus, they close themselves. Now, how am I supposed to talk to you when you're closed like that? I can see you're pretty, but please, can you just remain open? Why are you closing your shop like that? And they avoid eye contact, totally. They even pass with a very serious face, excuse me, and they go. You really longed. Brothers, have you experienced that? You long to just say hi. She's in the supermarket in the queue and she's straight perpendicular. They move like scouts and they go and they go. Why do you do that to us, honestly, surely? Why do you dress so well and you are so hard to talk to? Why can't you just greet hello? It can be just that hello. One lady was open the way I'm discussing. At the wedding, she noticed one guy did not get the cake. The cake, she ate hers. And because she was open, she gave it to him. Today they are married. Look at you. You bury yourself. Even now you buried yourself. You did not greet anyone. Particularly you should greet the opposite sex. They form the clientele of. So, oh, your contact is sees this, sees the other, sees. You marry a sees. Get one Chris. And by the way, Bramwell is still single. Something changed. Joshua is single, but he is not ripe. He has not reached. Bramwell is ripe. Yeah. But Bramwell, be careful. Some ladies are very aggressive. I might put you in trouble. Okay. Ladies, don't be aggressive, be tactical. When you see a good guy, do what Ruth did to Boaz. Come close to where he is, where he works, that party, where they are, sit there. Just let him see you. He will make the proposal if he is searching. If he doesn't initiate, he is not searching. And even if he initiates, it won't go far. He might bite your cake, but he won't take you far. Don't push these agendas. Let him initiate the agenda, because he will need to lead the journey, isn't it? Yeah. He will need to lead the journey. Is it, Papa? Just shoot your shot. After you shoot your shot, what next? Will you lead the journey? Ladies, stop this feminine toxicity. Shoot your shot, and then you just be shooting yourself. All right, widen your scope financially, socially, and the last widening I want you to do, and this one will change your life. I want you to widen your scope in knowledge. I want you to attend conferences here, in abroad, buy books, and then assign time for reading. Many of you get motivational speakers, they psych you, you buy books, but you never read them. Because there is no habit in your life, no routine to read them. Let me tell you what changed my life. When one teacher said, you shall earn as you learn. You shall be paid as your worth. He said, if you want to be paid like more than everybody else, learn more than everybody else. And he said, adapt your learning to your lifestyle. It makes it easy. Many of you are not readers. I am not reader of the hard book. Funny thing, that's not my favorite way of reading. My favorite is audio, is the visual, the ones we are talking, the ones we are discussing. So I always get the book. Even now we are trying to make them to audio, to still get to the people who are like me. I read the physical books, but when I get the audio ones, I do that on repeat. Because I'm always moving. I can play it in the car, I can play it in the earphone, I can play it there. I want you to adapt your learning to your style. My wife is very hard copy person. So she will have the books, and you see there's a library there. She likes that presence, interacting. The books have even a smell, a fragrance of the book, how it feels like, underlining, highlighting. She can lift that. What is your style? If you don't know your style, it's because you don't know yourself. Get a style that learning becomes enjoyable. In school, they forced all of us to sit there, hard copy book. If you don't like this, you are poor, you are not intelligent, you are not going far in life. No, you could be very good at the kind of learning that is interactive, a person reading it for you, a podcast, a show. If you follow a show that is intelligent and informing, diligently, daily, you transform. And I hope you know the phenomenon called University on Wheels. It was discovered some years back. And it says that if you study for one day, actually, when you're traveling to work, no more commuting. They reduced it to commuting. They say the average, the study was done in America, and it is very relatable to Africa. They say the normal person spends 1 hour. That means this way, that means the ones who spend the least time. The average person is 45, 1.5. But they said even if you spend only 1 hour on the road every day, and you play educational material when you're moving, every day for 1 year, they said after every 1 year, you'll have finished equivalent of a university degree without changing anything else. Play the material as you drive, as you get to the vehicle, as you're on a earphone, whatever. I adopted that back then, and I listened to this book and repeat it. Today I can quote things because I listened to them over and over while I was just moving. When I widened my scope of learning, my conversations changed. The depth of my insight changed. Do you know now I could make more accurate decisions unknowingly without even thinking too much about it, because I had already ingested information. As you write your questions, let us revisit what we started with. We started the letter what? Letter G for what? Remember the greatness stirring in you. The next letter was what? R standing for what? Retreat, meaning you detach from friends and family that you have been so comfortable with that you follow the direction they are going and suppress where you would have gone if you were alone. You're detaching to give yourself that room to hear without the noise of the surrounding whispers from your future, what you're supposed to become. What was the next letter? All for overcoming the addiction, the low self-esteem regime, the crushing abuse they gave you, the things that they told you and they keep replaying in your head, the alcohol you used to silence the pain, the running away from your family, from your children, the running away from your responsibilities, the borrowing of money and overspending it is spontaneous, too much impulse spending. You overcome it through therapy, using the right mirror, by just becoming that person who is working on yourself brick by brick. Stop replaying what they did. We say this highest thing may have been planted by another person, but you're the one to uproot it. Sometimes you did not cause the damage, but you're the one to repair it. What was the last letter? W standing for? To widen your scope. You multiply your salary by? You multiply your geographical coverage by? You multiply your knowledge by? One time the minister announced the school that was #1 in mathematics in the whole country. And when he said way secondary, people laughed because they expect Alliance, this St. Francis this, Kenya High. Somewhere in West Pokot, that's the name was #1. When they found that it was an intern teacher who was teaching them, who was not even yet TSC. He did teaching from the level of a spark to make students great again. West Pokot, not employed by TSC, fresh graduate. Airplane. Some of you get an airplane and you're being told to get an A kind of a career. Stop talking about counseling. I'm talking about farming, teaching. No, everybody does teaching. Even is minor. Why? You wanted to do it because it's your calling. Mother Teresa wanted to raise funding for the poor. And when she went asking for donations, courageously, from artists and famous people, one of them was very proud, spat in her arm. It's okay, that's for me. Now give me for the children. He was embarrassed. He wrote a fat check. When you're doing what you love, because some of you will need to ask for funding to do some of the things you're asking for, some things that is burning in you, you're supposed to go, and that's what keeps you, because you don't want to look like you're begging. Don't look like some of you, you have a heart for college students. You know you should go to where they are and talk them to light. And you know, to survive in that kind of, you might need people to stand with you for a moment before you establish this and the other one. It's supposed to start with walking long distances, avoiding high fare, bus fares, by traveling earlier in the morning, trekking part of the distance, getting a lift from this one, surviving hanging on a string, being carried by a basket here. Why was Moses being carried by a basket and is God's calling? Why was Paul being hidden in a basket and is God's calling? Sometimes God is there and basket is still there. It's part of your journey, my friend. Some of you want princely treatment. Hey, I'm waiting for the motorcade, basket. So, I have done border myself, and I carried one lady. When she realized that I was a lawyer, she said, "Oh, you mean things are that bad?" She knew the economy was not good, but now on this level, a lawyer doing border. But no, actually, I thought I'm badly off, but my brother, I'll remember you in prayer. What's your name, my brother? Douglas. You're very attentive. What is that you are embarrassed of, Douglas? You're very proper. This guy's in a suit. Maybe what he knows he should do requires to roll sleeves and wear gumboots and deal with the pigs. And they can't show up anywhere because he's even leaving the phone there because the friends can't see what he has become. Just using an example. Some of you, what you are burning with has a pathway that is muddy. Muddy. You need to talk to Equity to give you the first car to sell by yourself. What if it is auction? No. Okay, let me try. I was saying, sorry, I'll come tomorrow. Oh my God, now let me go again. I was saying, sorry, don't mind me. Your dream won't let you sleep. Your calling won't stop calling. You might as well respond while you have time. Let me close by saying, if you don't grow into that thing, you'll have to leave your children to start where you left. Are you aware some of you are doing what your father failed in doing? The battles you don't win, your children will have to pick from there. The pathway you did not break, you left them in a funny house, no inheritance, poor thing. They will have to start there. On another side of looking at it, many of you, you are such a singer. There's one of the ladies there who is 46 and she's dancing like a youth. And people are wondering, where does she get the energy? She knows that's her thing and she can't stop and go anywhere. Ronaldo is making records. Messi is making records. When they are past the retirement age of no more athletes, players, because for them it's not just a job, it's their thing to inspire. when Eliud Kipchoge said he's running to inspire people, and he went to break records. He's saying, you may not be a runner like me, but you may be a lawyer whose what you want to break is also something like sub 2. I want to break sub 2. You also have your sub 2. What is your sub 2? What is that? What does it mean? We all know what it is. We have just been avoiding to look that direction because you don't know what to do, isn't it? Now, just give us recognition. That thing, that's your greatness. Then retreat from these people keep telling you, no, the economy is very bad. You can't sell macadamia. You're talking about exporting. Exporting avocado. Look at this one. No, let me give you a story, my friend. Can you read this story? This one was even auctioned. The thing you want to do, others tried it. I wanted to do counseling on a higher level. I did not have a name for it. And I couldn't tell anybody about it. Because the counselors, they knew, who deal with psycho. People are meant. You mean that, Mother? Are you talking about that? My friend Lydia is a doctor. She could be dreaming of the facility that is private and one stop for all manner of diagnosis. She will tell you that the harder job is not treating, is diagnosing. People keep misdiagnosing you. One guy was told he has an urgent throat cancer and he should get operated now, so they are taking him to the center to cut the throat. And he doubted. He said, let me get second opinion. He went to India. He went to India in Alam. The doctor, my friend, sorry, just have bacteria infection. Was given bacteria infection. He was cured. Maybe he wants a diagnosis center that is accurate and one stop and reliable. But she's wondering, I don't have something now. Look, my salary. Look. Retreat and then overcome that fear and say, I'll jump. I'll either achieve this dream or die trying. I better die on my feet than to live on my knees. This is my life, and either I live it or I leave it. And finally, the first thing to start doing now is to widen. In the next month, next 3 months, whatever period is shortest practical for you, stop attending that job you know you're ready to go. Stop going to sell those things you know you should be selling your own. Open the car yard. That guy told me he opened the car yard without no car, any. And labeled it there. Then he called the people, bring your car, I sell for you. They all refused. They started getting people who don't know him. These ones despise you because they know you too much. Okay, I have two to sell. Check whether you can find. And the first car they sold was a weird thing because one man said he has a Range Rover. There's 16 million. Those kind of customers are not many. I can take that in. The real price is sticking, but I'm tired. I can't get customer. I can get that in. And because he went out and said, no, you know what? I will dare. I will try. If I fail, if I perish, I perish. Within a short time, they found a guy asking for the same car, same color. Do you know how much divine providence has been waiting for you to step out? The guy said, how did you know my color, my brother? This is the car I've been looking for. My budget, sometimes those cars go the way to 21. But I want to spend 16. If you can get even in 20, some 2 years before the one that was current. No problem. And he said the money hit his account and the banks got alarmed and they locked account because it has never had 20,000. Now it has 3 million. They came to look at his job. Are you doing money laundering? What is this? Where did you get it from? He had to get that seller to say, yeah, it was my car. They brokered for me. Oh, okay. Now we understand you poor people. You know, listen. It could be that when you step out, that's when the Jordan will divide. It could be that you say, either I will succeed or die trying. They locked businesses and that guy said, I'll make more money during the lockdown than I could have made if they did not lock down. Why did he say that? Sometimes you say things into existence. Learn to say that. Stop anticipating struggle. The economy is very tough. No! But then you should go to vehicle market. So you should stop saying economy is tough. Guys are buying top-notch vehicles. Everybody has their personal economy. Work on your economy. Don't generalize your lack of organization. The people complaining is very easy and most people complain all day. There's a place for governmental management. The way they manage, you should give your voice. But you say you should give your voice and your vote in a decent and conclusive way. Don't nag, don't complain, don't invest your energy there. Don't become complain and the whole day you're just angry. No! You have your personal economy. and they can make a huge difference. Strive Masiyiwa, one of the richest men in Kenya, in Africa, comes from Zimbabwe. Between Kenya and Zimbabwe, you have no excuse. Thank you so much. I want to give to these guys to pick questions. Thank you so much.
This is the Benjamin Zulu Global. Welcome our viewers from all over the world to the home of the Heartmans. We're converging to learn together because when you know better, you can do better. And a better life is what we all want. Better work life, better family life,